shall we? Oh, smokes. I'm just a bit nervous. It's like a 9.3 on the Richter scale. Good evening, distinguished guests, teachers, parents, families, friends, and, not the least, my fellow grads of 2009. To whom I extend my deepest gratitude for the honor of delivering this valedictorian address. Congratulations. Well done. We did it. Throughout our 5-year sojourn at Windermere, we've had many moments, our ups and our downs, moments that have defined us, as well as those that we like to forget. But in all such moments, we've all had significant people in our lives there to help us and to guide us. And for that, on behalf of all the graduates tonight, I'd like to thank the persons of significance. Parents, teachers, aunts, uncles, siblings, cousins, and friends. Thank you for all your love and support. In truth, this is your night as much as it is ours. For the last 5 years, Windermere has been a second home for us. When we first walked into its imposing halls in grade 8, we'd entered a new world. A big world. Big kids, big library, big auditorium, a big gym that could be turned into 3 separate ones. That was ridiculous. But we also had big anxieties. We soon realized that we hadn't all of a sudden become sophisticated. We hadn't shed all of our immaturity and childishness over the summer. On the contrary, we were now small fish in a big pond. Small fish who, rather uncoolly, had trouble finding the right classroom, opening our combination logs, and memorizing our new and complex timetables. In short, we were the grade 8s, scared, confused, and invisible to every other grade. We found safety in grouping together with familiar faces. However, slowly but surely, we began to open ourselves up to other classmates. Classmates who eventually became friends. Friends who today we would consider ourselves lost without. Days turned to weeks, turned to months, and before we knew it, both our fears and our first year at Windermere had passed. Mercifully passed. We entered grade 9 with the swagger of a hardened high school veteran. We knew how to navigate the donut-shaped Windermere halls. We knew how our schedules worked, and some of us could even open our combination logs. That last one doesn't apply to me. I learned how to do it this year. Grade 9 meant that we were now recognized by other students as students. We were no longer looked down upon, both figuratively and literally. We, for the first time, had begun to appreciate the full impact of a teacher's anger when we failed to complete assignments or hand in homework. And let me assure you, hell hath no fury like a teacher's sword. It was a time when independence reared its head for the first time, as we were able to choose our own electives. We concluded the 9th grade having conquered math, charted the solar system, and could quote Shakespeare at the drop of a hat. That last one definitely applies to me, I think. Grade 10 was a time where a sense of belonging seemed to have left us. What had we become? What could we call ourselves? We were obviously no longer the juniors, but just as clearly, we were not yet seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grads, the truth is, the hard truth is, in grade 10, we were the freaks. We were at that stage in life where we had only halfway passed through puberty. We roamed the halls as gangling kids who had not yet fully grown into our adult bodies, and our voices cracked when we spoke. It wasn't pretty, figuratively and literally. Grade 10 also meant that people became more attached while others seemed to drift apart. It was a time that required tough decisions, from planning our future courses to having to worry about our first provincial exams. But through the help of friends and educators, we were able to get through these trying times. Grade 11. Finally we had earned the much anticipated title of seniors. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Seemingly, for the first time, our grad class had melded into a family. and our trip to the museum and legislature in Victoria sealed the deal. We began to plan events together, party together, study together, party together, eat lunch together. And did I mention that we partied together? It also meant that we were beginning to watch our futures unfold, and despite all this togetherness, or perhaps because of the incredibly supportive atmosphere that fostered, we began to emerge as individuals. Individuals who took our own path to get to where we are now. Some of us are dancers, artists, musicians, mechanics, singers, writers, actors, athletes, scientists, but the thing that remains the same is that we are all part of the mosaic that is the grad class of 2009. And now here we are, 12th graders, the graduating class, seniors of the school, the veritable kings and queens of the playground. We may have done stuff in the start that seemed slightly cruel, such as telling the confused and frightened you little 8th graders as they were trying to find their new classrooms that, oh, to get to the choir room, you have to take the elevator up to the 5th floor. There is no 5th floor. You're not allowed to use the elevator. But as the times changed, so did we, and so too did our priorities. The future had stopped being that elusive milestone in the distance, shrouded in mystery, but rather, it was now a reality. Grads, we have come so far, learned so much, and have done so many things. We cared, and were cared for. We have been taught, but we have also learned to teach. But perhaps the greatest part of all this is that we are able to share each and every moment with each other. Through the laughs, tears, failures and triumphs, the victories and the losses, through the thick and the thin, we stood side by side, classmates by classmates, friends by friends, proving over and over again that though adversity may impede us, we will succeed, and we will achieve what it is we sought out to accomplish. Each and every one of you has had a lasting and boundless effect on someone else. And amongst you are people who I consider to be some of the most influential and inspiring people I have ever had the chance to meet. You've taught me immeasurable amounts of things that I'll never forget, and I believe this holds true for every one of you as well, whether you realize it now, at this very moment in time, or somewhere else down the line. Whatever success we have, we owe to each other, as well to our incredibly dedicated teachers, who have nurtured and guided us along the way, most especially our parents, without whose enduring love, guidance, and support, none of us would be sitting here today. Robert Burns once wrote, "The best laid schemes of mice and men apt to glide." I have no idea what that quote means. I read it somewhere and it sounded good, I just wrote it in my speech. So I decided to stick with the quote that I'm sure every single person in this room is familiar with. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Now I know what you're thinking, and yes, I do realize that this quote has been recycled through every single valedictorian speech in the history of ever, but for good reason. So cheesiness aside, please bear with me. What I'm trying to say is that life is unexpected. It's uncut, it's unclear, and it's unscripted. But that is why we spent 13 years at school, preparing for life. And though we may not know what it will throw at us, we know that we have all the tools, the skills, and the know-how to survive it. And so look to the future, not with fear, but with opportunity. Finally, at this time, I have a nagging urge to end off my speech with a stay classy, grads. But I'm going to ignore that urge. Instead, let me leave you with this final thought. Admittedly, it's a cliche, but I feel that it is appropriate nevertheless. Though in the future you may face dark and difficult times, always remember, only when the night is darkest do our stars shine their brightest. As this time of ours dwindles down to its very end, look to the people around you, to the friends you've made. And though this high school life of ours may not have lasted very long, the memories that we've made will last forever. So always shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll be amongst the stars. Thank you. Good luck.
do it again. I think